Blacker.
Shut here.
Yeah. I hope that clap was good over the
hear
British
it.
ad libs. I think it was good. All right. Everybody good?
With my friends beside me.
Yep.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome into another episode of Rabbit Hole Sessions, right? Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Rabbit
what show
Hole
are we?
Sessions. Thank you for joining. This is another episode. Tyler on demand, Afua on demand today. Just here repping. We'll get into that in a second. Emilio Guido, how are you, sir?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, looking
I'm
good. Feeling good.
Yes, feel
almost fine.
very
What
good.
is it? Thursday?
It is
Yes.
a
It
Thursday.
is Thursday. Young James, Jimmy McMoney, how are you,
What
sir?
up? I'm doing all right.
Yeah, chilling. New
Living.
haircut, looking fresh.
I did get a new haircut.
Looking fresh. Not blowing too much this time in the wind. Last episode was a little funny.
It's wild.
But it's all right. He had to go cut it down, tame it up a bit.
Of course.
Yeah, what's good? So what's popping? I'm wearing my Nigeria clothes today. Shout out to Nigeria and SARS, all that. Are you guys familiar with what's going on with the SARS situation?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I get all my information from Twitter, so
Yeah.
Luckily, I follow.
He started
like,
off with like he wasn't fine.
He's like, yeah, I do it. That's the spot.
yeah,
You're
that's
right.
it.
No,
At least I
so-
straight up said no.
Yeah, why was he
I was gonna say I'm
really was
lucky
calling
that
James out early. I love it.
I follow people that at least keep up with that stuff, so I do have some information.
Right, yeah,
I'm
no,
not like
same.
completely in the dark
I'm
about it.
certainly not the expert or anything,
Oh,
but
no,
I have
yeah.
been able to, speak to my grandparents about it and get some direct
Oh, yeah.
information about it, which was really good. But, wearing this, we in solidarity with you and SARS. So SARS stands for the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. That's why it's SARS. It's so, why is it the sickness name, which is funny. It's like, when I first saw it and they said end SARS, I was like, SARS is back. I thought this was Corona. I thought we were in
Yeah.
COVID. And I was
Yeah.
like, what? There's another SARS outbreak? So I was like, then it's really the end of the world. Pestilence is coming. But luckily, well, not luckily. It's not that, but it's still something not good. And so I was talking to my grandma about it directly, and I was trying to figure out, some of the origins about it. And I don't know exact years, but it was originally set up as the name implies, an anti-robbery squad, right? Supposed to be stopping theft, thievery, robbery, all that type of crime that was going on in the streets. But eventually, over time, with corruption, government corruption, police department corruption, they became more of a flat-out terror squad against protesters or people who would not exactly civil unrest, but anything like we would do here, not agree with things that are going on or public demonstrations. And especially recently, today's Thursday. Yesterday, there was a protest against them specifically, right? Because they've been as of recent, I don't know about years, but definitely this year, been ramping up on more of the brutality on citizens and innocent people. And yesterday there was a protest against them at, I forgot what it's called, I think it was Lekki Gate in Lagos, and they turned off the lights, they shut down the lights and started firing into the crowd, live rounds. So people got hit, 11 people died. So it was it's a for real thing, and that is just very tragic. It's very unfortunate. And so yeah, I was asking my grandma, how did this happen? And why does this happen? And, how long did it take to get this way? Do you think it's genuine that they're trying to change? Because the leaders did they've come out and condemned them, and they've shut down the department and the program. They were pretty quick with it, actually. And so I don't know, because initially I was coming into this, it's funny, even right now I'm changing my mind, but I was going to talk about this, about a negative light of Twitter activism and the whole kind of spreading awareness thing, because I was going to question the actual substantialness of it. But because this has been going on, this isn't the first time these things have happened. It hasn't just happened this year. So I do wonder what has caused more news outlets to be aware of it. Do you think it's something because it's tangentially happening in the US, or I don't know, do you guys have any ideas?
I wonder
around
if
that?
that's the case. Yeah, what if the American protest against police brutality, inspired other countries to be a little more active in it, and now the world as a whole is more aware of it? I don't know. I feel like that's our American idea, pulling it back to us.
Right, we kind of sparked it.
That's
Yeah.
our
Well, because
perspective,
it's not like I said, it's not the first time it's been going on, but this is kind of the first time that we've seen big protests against police brutality other than America, right? We haven't really seen that in other countries unless it's for America, about the situation in America, right? When people are doing the Black Lives Matter protests around the world. And it's just interesting to see those parallels happening at the same time. And, excuse me. Yeah, so it's just, they have come out and publicly condemned it, but they came out and publicly condemned it and dismantled it before the shooting that happened yesterday. So it's there was not, clearly the effect
There was
wasn't
no
immediate,
action.
and people still ended up getting fucked up by it. And I wanted to see, my grandma said something directly that I wanted to quote, just exactly what she said. Well, it's basically what I said, but yeah, so that's what's going on. And it seems to be is police corruption no matter where you go. It's not just it doesn't seem to just be a race thing. It seems to be a power thing. It seems to be a corruption thing. And it's entire establishments need to be dismantled. That's something like I also kind of like to make the distinction of, instead of destroy is dismantle, because I think destroy doesn't really end up helping many people, and I think a lot more people get hurt if you try to destroy what's in place rather than dismantle it, like realign it for your purposes, if that makes sense, which involves being part of it and changing it from the inside, as well as people opposing it from the outside. You know, I've gotten a lot of criticism in the past when talking to people for wanting to work with the system that I'm against, but it's like you have to work with and kind of inside to be able to understand and how to change it, because that's the only way. Like, avenues of change happen in different parts of society and they come together to affect a whole. That's how it's like a multi-faceted and multi-fronted attack, quote unquote, like to use those military tactic words, I guess, but I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
prayers
it's
to
tough
Nigeria.
sometimes
We stand with you.
when like the system is so corrupt that it's almost like class against class. You know, it's like one group against another. It's hard to change the ideals. It's hard to convince them, and at some point, like radical action is necessary. You know, sometimes.
What do you
that's
mean?
That's just how
Radical action
revolutions happen in the past. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
shit.
I'm saying, like, it's not like like all this radical energy in the world right now is happening from nothing. It's been built up years and years and years, and change just hasn't happened. You know,
And it's just a time in history where it seems to be the energy can explode. It has the avenues to explode, hopefully in ways that can bring change.
but
Hopefully.
you said something about Twitter activism.
Yeah. Okay, let me think. Hold on. Sit. Because I've seen a lot of people obviously talk about it, right? But it's kind of always my thing with people talk about it, but what are they really doing? And is talking about it doing something? That's why, like, in the beginning, I was saying maybe I'm kind of changing my tone on that, because now we like CNN reports it and shit like that. But I don't know if it's because explosive events are happening now, or if it's because there's like people on Twitter talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's the truth. And I don't want to talk about no name again too much, but she had some tweet that pissed me off a little bit. But I was like, I'm gonna let it go. But so my thought was like, what does sharing it to your Instagram followers do, my Instagram followers do, if none of us can or don't do anything about it further?
First,
Like, without being educated on it, to maybe know who you should speak to, rather than just speaking on it. Like, what does that do?
but first,
Just spreading a
hold
go
on.
ahead, yeah,
First,
go
let's
ahead.
clarify what doing something means in comparison to talking about it on social media. Before we go any further, I think.
Yeah, well, I guess then that was also part of my question. Is talking about it on social media doing something?
Okay.
I think it is. It's spreading awareness.
Yeah. I guess it just becomes just a quick thing. I think it becomes a thing of the measure of impact that it has, I guess. But go.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
it. Like, if news outlets are only going to share what's most popular, right? So if it's getting popular on Twitter, if it's getting popular on Instagram, if people are sharing it more and more and more, it's going to get noticed
Right.
by algorithms, you know. So it's going to become trending. And then when it's trending, it reaches everybody's homepage.
Right. Is there something to the notion of, rather than just aimlessly throwing it out to your 50 followers who, you know, are going to forget about it in 3 days, to maybe like actually seeing what's going on more, and then seeing if there's someone like an ambassador you can actually reach out to and say, hey, me and all my 5 friends, that's who we speak to like get someone directly involved, or to get diplomats and directly involved. Like, is there something to maybe that should be what's encouraged instead? Because I just think, and eventually at the end of the day, you're just throwing it out there. People want to say something rather than say something constructive, but they want to say something to just seem like they're part of it.
So the action you're talking about is like reaching out. When you say diplomats, you mean like
I don't know exactly what the process is, but there are people who
People
you
of
can
power.
Senators
communicate
or
who have much
whatever.
more effect than your
District
Twitter
attorney
followers or your Instagram followers. And so, like, to me, it comes off as, yeah, there's like maybe genuine intent, but it also comes off as the most service it's doing is for you to feel like and seem like you're part of it.
Yeah. Well, so it's better than nothing first. Like, for sure, I think it's better. It's
In
spreading awareness on
comparison,
it.
sure,
It's
yeah.
comparison, like, it's better
Yeah.
than doing nothing. And
Okay.
if I agree, like, more people should be willing to do more, like, put more effort into doing something to change. But those, like, understanding what is necessary to change is it's tough to
Yeah, but
figure
if you
out.
care, isn't it on you to put in the effort to do something tough?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do people actually care, or are they just throwing it up to seem like they do?
Or they're just doing the easiest thing possible. Yeah.
Are they?
Some of them probably are. Some
So-
people are also probably genuinely trying to spread awareness, and they just don't have other outlets to do it, or they don't know how to do it. And that's where I think.
Is that an excuse anymore?
I
When we
don't.
have Google?
I just like
Like-
that's fine. It is an excuse. I don't know how much I can believe it. I feel like a lot of us have resources. Those who are choosing to tweet about it more than likely have
you can tweet,
resources
you can
to actually.
Google.
Yeah.
But what do
yeah,
you
I
mean
you can do
like
more than that.
Google what?
How can I help end
And
SARS
SARS.
in
Yeah,
Nigeria?
okay,
Who
yeah.
can I contact?
Oh yeah,
to
okay.
blah,
So
blah, blah?
when I say sharing, I don't mean just like the video. I mean like sharing the resources that you find on Twitter. Like I've
Yeah.
seen like things like for the Black Lives Matter things. It was like things you could donate to.
Right.
Things you could also
Sorry.
retweet more to get more awareness. But so yeah, like I think I saw something that was like buying Bitcoin instead of buying donating directly to Nigerian efforts, because I think the government was blocking.
Yeah, there's a lot of corruption in
Yeah.
a lot of areas.
Yeah, so they're sending it through Bitcoin. So that's something I saw that was online that you could do.
Dude, that's like Akon City. They're operating in Bitcoin. Maybe that's is eventually gonna be the way of the future. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Another thing that's possible that we have seen recently, which is good use of social media and combines what you were talking about. I think, but in relation to American terminology, would be like reaching out to a city's district attorney or senators within that state, and that's something we saw with. When the NBA, this bubble season, they stopped playing, they boycotted playing because of what happened in Milwaukee. And all the, however many teams, organizations were in the bubble at that time, posted on their social media, we're not playing because here are the numbers to the Milwaukee district attorney, the number to this senator and that one. And so you're using the platform to provide the information that comes from the Google search that I think you're speaking of. So there's one way it can be used.
Yeah, and I think it can. I just don't think people are doing that.
Yeah, I think that's a great. I think that's new though. It might be just a new thing. No,
Yeah.
it can't be.
No.
I can agree.
People
I
probably
bet a
do it a
lot
little
of
bit,
people
though.
are just doing it so they could feel like they're part of the trend.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of our like online world. It's
Yeah.
like people just do it just for the trend. But
I guess my ultimate question about it is what's the end result of just sharing? Like, what is the expectation that's going to happen? So more people see it, and then what? What's
then
after that?
Then they feel like they
Then
did
the
their
next
part.
person does something.
Yeah. Yeah. Then
Right? Can you go handle this for me? Look, I'm showing it to you to know what's happening, but don't want to do something. Yeah. and I
That's
guess
why
it is nature.
I feel that so much more about like celebrities doing that, because they actually have so much more power than like us. So like when someone's like, we should change this, like a celebrity's like, this is bad, we should change this. It's like, all right, what are you doing to do it? You have money,
Yeah, you have access.
you have power, you have status.
So
Do
it's
something.
money. Money means you could do something.
No. It just means you have more
It's communication.
ability. You have
Money
more
equals
But
communication.
I
No.
said platform too. Like you have a bigger audience. You have access to more,
Okay, for celebrities.
way more resources. Yes.
And
Okay,
like
I just mean
higher
money.
quote unquote status in society means it's easier for you to communicate with more people, as in like they'll give up stuff for you to come communicate to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even think who's like a fucking celebrity that talks about this shit. Like if John Legend, I don't know,
Yeah.
wanted to talk to a senator versus if I want to talk to a senator, they'll probably talk to John Legend
Yeah.
first, or he'll have an easier time to get in there, that type of thing. So yeah, I agree with that, James. Celebrities suck, bro. Like we know that. But so do people clearly, like a lot of us do it seems. But I mean that's pretty much all I wanted to say about it. Nigeria, like I said, stand with you. And SARS. Yeah, shout out to the people of the motherland. I need to put on my hoodie because it's getting kind of cold. Let's take a break. Okay. Yeah.